Hi guys, I'm gonna show you my bread recipe, which a lot of people have asked for, and I'm finally bringing it to you. So here we go. I have 2 cups of flour in here and a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. It's pretty fine sugar, it's not like any big granules. I also have a 1/2 cup of whole milk and some yeast, 1 packet of yeast, which is a 1/4 ounce, I believe. I have 2 egg yolks, about a teaspoon of vanilla, and 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter, which has been softened, and I have the whites from the egg, which is the 2 egg whites. And pretty much all I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix, I have a pinch of salt in here as well. I'm just going to mix all my dry ingredients together, and I'm just going to put in my milk and my yeast. Kind of give it a little mix, as well as my eggs, well, my egg yolks, the vanilla, and the butter. I'm going to mix that up a bit. I'm just going to mix it up till everything's pretty much combined, and I'm going to start kneading it with my hands on. I use my little clean cutting board. You can use your surface or a wooden board or whatever. Okay, so that looks like it's pretty much combined. I'm just going to dump it out on here and knead. And I'm doing this with my hands, so I'm going to knead it for about 7 minutes or so, 5 to 7 minutes until it comes together. The butter was softened, so there's still going to be pieces of butter in there, but you're not going to need any more flour for this or any more liquid. It's going to come together really well. So I'm just going to go ahead and knead this for about maybe 5 to 7 minutes or so. And I'm going to show you how to knead it a little bit so you have an idea of how I do it. This thing is not moving. So once everything just comes together, a little bit like so, I'm just going to take the back of my hand and press it out forward a little gently, not too rough, and just keep doing that. Bring it back in, push it out, bring it back in, push it out. I'm just going to do that for 5 to 7 minutes. I put a towel at the bottom to help my board stay, but I'm just going to show you, it's coming together, like I'm just kneading it. I'm just going to do this for, like I said, 5 to 7 minutes. It really doesn't take long, but just keep doing it. Don't be too rough, and so I've been kneading this for about 4 to 5 minutes now. Everything's come off the board clean, and it's really nice and getting really smooth. If you're doing this in, I think a stand mixer with the dough hook, I guess you could probably do it for about 4 to 5 minutes. But we're kneading this. It's really, really soft. If you push on it, it just springs back up, so you know it's kind of ready. I'm just going to do this for a couple more minutes, and I'm using all-purpose unbleached flour. I find that works best. And I have an oiled bowl. I just sprayed it with some non-stick cooking spray. I'm going to place it in there. When I'm done this, I'm going to show you actually. I'm almost done. It's really, really soft and nice. I'm just going to kind of form it into a ball. And just give it a little pat. I have my bowl here that's been sprayed. I'm just going to rub it all around because I don't want nothing to stick. I'm going to cover this with either a towel or a cling wrap or something, and place it in somewhere warm to double in size. I will show you what it looks like. I wait for it to look a little bit more than double in size, for it to rise a lot. And I'm going to cover it. If you're using a towel, because I've done this many times, if I use a towel and I wash them with fabric softener, sometimes the scent gets onto the dough and you don't want that. So if you're using a towel, use a napkin under the towel and then put the towel on. I'm going to use some cling wrap or something and put them in to rise, and then see you back when it's doubled in size. Okay, so our dough has risen. It's more than doubled in size, which is what I like. I use a little bit of plastic wrap, which works best so it doesn't actually stick to it. I kind of just sprayed a little bit of non-stick spray on my surface because I'm just going to flip this over. and it just comes out really nice. It's really soft, really, really nice. Now this will make probably about 8 to 10 small rolls. So I'm gonna cut them in, I'm gonna cut this in half, and then just kind of like cut out little pieces, and then I'll show you how I roll them up to make it in a kind of like a dinner roll. Using a bread knife or whatever, I'm just gently cutting it. I'm trying not to deflate it. I mean, it will deflate a little bit as we work with it, but you know, you want to try and keep it like nice and light and fluffy. I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to work on this. I'm going to show you kind of like how I cut it. I kind of just shape it into like a rectangle, and depending on how much I'm going to get. Let's just say I want to get 8 out of this. I might make this into 4. The smaller the pieces are, you know, I mean, depends on how much you want to make. So I'm just going to cut like so, and I'm going to show you just how I roll one. You could use any size you want. I'm just going to go like this and just kind of tuck it in gently and just pinch the bottom. I'm being very gentle. I'm trying not to deflate it. And just give it a little pat and just set it. I'm using a cake tin because it works for me. You could use anything you want. I mean, you know, whatever tin works fine. I'm just going to place it in there, and I'm going to continue doing this. Okay, this is the last piece that I have. I just want to show you again that I'm just kind of taking it and putting it in like so, and then kind of pinching at the bottom. And just give it a little tap, give it some love. And like I said, you can use any tin you want. I'm just using this for now. I've used it many times before and it comes out just fine. I'm leaving them a little bit apart from each other, but they are gonna rise again. We're gonna leave them rise again. It takes, you know, about 20-30 minutes depending on how hot your kitchen is. So I'm gonna let this double in size. Might just try to kind of move them around a bit, and then I will show you the next step. By the way, you want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and the egg whites from the beginning, I put a little bit of water in them and I just mixed it up to get a little egg wash. We're going to put that after it's risen. We're going to put it on the bread, kind of paste it on, and then I'll show you what we do from there. Okay, so my rolls has been rising for maybe about 20 minutes or so in a warm area. I did cover it again with some plastic wrap, and you can see that they're really doubled in size, and this is kind of why I use this tin for this amount of bread, is because it just kind of comes together really nicely, so when it bakes you can just pull it apart. It's really nice. But anywho, I have my egg wash here, which I used 2 egg whites that I had at the beginning of the video. I just put a little bit of water in there in my little brush, and I'm going to gently paste these on the bread. Gives it a really nice flavor on the top of it. I'm going to do this really gently because I really don't want to deflate it at this point. My oven is preheated to 350 degrees, and this is going to bake for about 23 minutes. I know it seems like 23 to 25 minutes. I mean, depends on your oven. Every oven is different, but it usually takes about 23 minutes for me. You are going to look for it to be nice and golden brown. You don't want it to get too brown. So yeah, this is just going to bake, and I'm going to finish this, put it to bake, and then I'll see you when it's done. Okay, so my bread baked for about 23 minutes, which is usually a sweet spot for it. And I just took it out. When it's nice and hot, I get some butter. I'm using you could just use regular butter that you use to butter your bread. Just melt it and, you know, paste it on top. Gives it a nice shine, as well as add a little bit of buttery flavor to it. And so that's it. That's the bread recipe. Okay, so this is our little taster. You ready?
Yum.
Are you ready to taste the bread?
Yum. Yum. And yum. Yum.
Okay.
Like the video. Bye bye.